Just a disclaimer for this video. This video is for academic purposes only. The students give their permission to post their videos. All statements nor expressions are their opinions are not meant any harm to the university and professor. The information presented should be related to other reliable website and research. Credits to the authors, pictures included, and background music.
Minasan, konnichiwa!
Bongjia!
Annyeonghaseyo! Maayad-ayad nga aga sa inyo tanan. Maayong buntag. Magandang buhay! We are the tourism warriors from University of the East Manila. For our second video, we are going to share again our learnings and understanding to all the topics that we have discussed in midterm period in our subject, Heritage Tourism. Ready your ears and minds to learn something in our video. Good day everyone! I am Donna Liza Aroximoso. In protecting our cultural properties, Republic Act No. 10066, or also known as the National Cultural Heritage Act of 2009, was promulgated. An act for the protection and conservation of national cultural heritage, strengthening the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, and its affiliated cultural agencies, and for other purposes that began on July 27, 2009, and it was signed by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, March 26, 2010. It stated that all countries' creative and historic fortunes constitute to the cultural treasure of the nation and shall be under the protection of the state. Addressing the objectives of conserving, protecting, promoting, and preserving the nation's cultural heritage, such as its properties, histories, as well as the ethnicity of local communities. Establishing and strengthening cultural institutions, cultural workers in ensuring their professional development, and its well-being in creating balanced atmosphere for the inspiration and benefit of the present to future generations. The affiliated cultural agencies are National Museum of the Philippines, National Archives of the Philippines, National Library of the Philippines, National Historical Commission of the Philippines, local government units, Philippine Registry of Cultural Property, and the National Commission for Culture and the Arts.
Hi, this is Julian Rivia. So antique means, things that are old. So antique items are, they need to be at least 100 years old or beyond that, could be older. So that means that of the date of disposing an antique item was made on or before April of 1918, or items over 300 years of age generally fall into one of the two categories depending on whether they are man-made creations or they are natural finds. So in short, an antique is 100 years older compared to what they refer to as vintage. Normally it's much younger, though typically it's still prior to 1999 period. So it's a relatively simple distinction, but not necessarily as important as you think it might be, because the age of a piece doesn't directly correlate to its value. And again, that's the main difference between antique and vintage. And up next is the archaeological area. So this shall refer to any place, whether above or underground. It could be underwater or at sea level, and it could contain fossils, artifacts, and other cultural, geological, botanical, even zoological materials. So an archaeological site or area, it's basically a place or a group of physical sites in which evidence of past activity is preserved. So it could be prehistoric, or it could be historic as well, and of course it could also be contemporary, and which has been or maybe investigated by experts.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy V. Destajo in the Republic of Act 10066 there's a conservation and cultural agencies. First, conservation refers to all the processes and measures of maintaining the cultural significance of a cultural property, and the cultural agencies shall refer to the following national government agencies with their specific areas of responsibility: cultural property, books, Philippine history, documents, culture and the arts, and language.
I'm Mayasa May Torres. So, cultural education refers to the teaching and learning about history and cultural concepts and processes. Then, the cultural heritage refers to the totality of cultural property preserved and developed through time and passed on to posterity. They both uses information that available from the material culture and the human and built environments as primary instructional resources. It is important to us to know the cultural education and cultural heritage because it enabling us to gain knowledge and experience through the discovery of cultural education and cultural heritage, helping us to understand the difference between local and global culture. Especially, it helps us to have an idea to protect and conserve our own cultural property.
Hello, I am Andrea Aiko and let me discuss what I've learned in the Republic Act 10066, Section 3, definition of terms. First, cultural property means property which, on religious or secular grounds, is specifically designated by each state as being of importance for archaeology, prehistory, history, literature, art, or science. Second, heritage zone. It shall refer to historical, anthropological, archaeological, artistic, geographical areas and settings that are culturally significant to the country as declared by the National Museum and or the National Historical Institute.
I'm Mika Garcia and I am here to discuss what is history and historical landmark. History is the study of the past events. People know what happened in the past by looking at the things from the past, including sources like books, newspaper, and letters, and artifacts like tools and human or animal remains. Library and museum collect and keep these things for the people to study history. History provides us with a sense of identity by understanding where we came from, and we can better understand who we are. History provides a sense of context for our lives and our existence. It helps us to understand the way things are and how we might approach the future. Historical landmark shall refer to a site or structure that are associated with the events or achievements significant to the Philippine history as declared by National Historical Institute. For example, the rice terraces in Ifugao are the one of the most epic landmark in the Philippines, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1995. The rice terraces were once indigenous agricultural invention.
Magandang buhay, tourist! Before we dive into the topic, I will introduce myself. My name is Imam Nafisa and I would like to tackle about the historical monuments. Now, what is historical monuments? They are fixed assets that are identifiable because of the particular historic, national, regional, religious, or symbolic significance, which is very crucial. It teaches us about the history that happened when we were born, or promotes the respect for the who live different times and different societies. Now, when it talks about historical shrine, are the historical sites or structure revered for their history as determined by the city. Example, the Battle of the Mactan in Cebu, which is the site where Lapu-Lapu killed Portuguese explorer Magellan.
I am April Joy A. Dondonay, and what I've learned about our lesson is the intangible cultural property that shall refers to the people learned processes along with the knowledge, skills, and creativity that informed and are developed by them. Second is the prehistory that refers to the period of human history before the introduction of the form of writing. And lastly, the tangible cultural property that shall refers to a cultural property with the historical, archival, anthropological, archaeological, artistic, architectural value, and with the expectational or traditional production.
Good day everyone, I'm Richabel Ventura. What I've learned about heritage tourism. I'm going to share you about the definition of cultural property. The first one is values empower its own character, which we have inherited. The second one is culture has an impact on how people live their social life. The third one is passed from one generation to next generation. Cultural property refers to all product of human creativity by which a people and a nation reveal their identity, including churches and other places of religious worship, schools and natural history, specimens and sites, whether public or privately owned, movable or immovable, and intangible or tangible.
Hi everyone, I am Angelica Monteverde and I am here to talk about our National Museum of Anthropology. Museums provide a safe haven for us, inspires us, and remind us that we are happy to be Filipinos who understand where we came from and what we are made of. Museums remind us that all our dedications and sacrifices, whether public or private, is worthwhile since it is for the greater good for our country. This museum is a modern building. Take note, entrance is free. Its mission is to conserve the Philippine cultural legacy while also educating others. It is intended to house and exhibit Mesoamerica's archaeological past as well as account for the country's current ethnic variety. Various ethnographic items from various people of the country are housed at the National Museum of Anthropology. It holds the National Museums, Anthropology and Archaeology divisions as well as the Zoology divisions. The building now has 4 stories that are open to the public. Each floor has a different gallery with a different subject. Allow me to take you on a virtual tour of the National Museum of Anthropology. Without further ado, galleries upon will be presented in this. So those are Marble Hall, the Treasures of San Diego, which is the San Diego 500 Years of Maritime Faith, portraits of indigenous Filipino women gallery, entwined spears, mats, baskets as containers, conveyors, and costumes, gearing the Philippine at the cross of the road of ivory trade. Moreover, displays are in huge rooms, and explanations are available in English. Fascinating exhibitions that showcase the long and rich history of the Philippines, from the Neolithic to the present day.
Hello everyone, I am Christine Sehane, and now I will discuss the Miagao Church, also known as the Santo Tomas de Villanueva Parish Church. It was built in 1786. This church is one of the most visited tourist attractions in Miagao, Iloilo. More than a place of worship, it is also served as the fortress. Hence, it is called the Baruch Fortress Church. Who built Santo Tomas de Villanueva? He is Father Conrado Arciaga. The church was formed on November 8, 1953. It was designed with thick walls to serve as a protection from invaders. It was severely damaged during the Spanish Revolution in 1898 but was later rebuilt fire in 1910. The Second World War, the earthquake in 1948, the present-day Miagao Church is the third church built since its established in 1731. The church was 224 years old. If you were interested how to go in Miagao, first, Iloilo Province is located in Western Visayas and can be reached by the plane, bus, ferry, Roro from Manila. By air, there are direct flights to Iloilo International Airport and take around 50 minutes from Manila. Once there, One can ride a shuttle van or taxi going to Iloilo City. Visit airlines that are daily trips from Manila to Iloilo.
I am Mary Grace Bonyon. Bahay na Tisa. Bahay na Tisa is one of the important cultural properties in the Philippines. It is a heritage structure located in Pasig City, a 174-year-old Spanish colonial and considered to be the oldest house. It is an ancestral home of the Tech family. It was built by Don Cecilio Tech y Cabrera in the early 1850s during the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines. The contribution of this house in the history, culture, and way of life will be seeing the significant events in the accounts of Pasig City and the whole country. This house has important cultural values like dining area, which has been for a secret meeting of student activists for Pro Marcos. The Mother's Revenge. La Venganza de la Madre or The Mother's Revenge is a clay sculpture created by Jose Rizal in Dapitan, Zamboanga. It is one of the National Fine Arts collection here in the Philippines. The structure represents what is happening in our country. When we try to understand it based on the literal representation, the mother dog tries to rescue the helpless dog from the bite of the crocodile, just like the patriots who are doing their best to save the defenseless countrymen.
Hello, my name is Daniela Hamad Marzan. Today I will discuss what I've learned for this midterm. Okay, one of the things that I've learned is the importance of cultural property. The cultural property, it refers to all products of human creativity by which a people and a nation reveal their identity, such as monuments, works of arts, artifacts, manuscripts, movable or immovable, tangible or intangible, and the traditions and festivals. The importance of this cultural property is that cultural property is the symbol of our identity, and this is our wealth. It will help us to let our actions speak for who we are and what we believe in, because cultural property is inherited from past generations, maintained in the present, and bestowed for the benefit of future generations. That is the main goal of the Republic Act No. 166, to protect and conserve the national cultural heritage, because we know that without culture, there is no us, the society.
Hi, I am Katrina Spineda, and the things that I've learned about our subject is National Cultural Treasure of the Philippines, which can be classified into 3 district brackets, namely immovable, movable, and intangible heritage. So, in immovable, this includes tradition and living expressions, while in movable, it is under artifacts, ancient, and documents. Lastly, we have the intangible heritage. These are the performing arts, knowledge, and practices concerning about nature and the universe. So one of the known example in movable heritage would be Manunggul burial jar. This may go back to the late Neolithic period.
I'm Jane Camille Siakias. The Bolinao Skull is an archaeological discovery excavated at the Balingase archaeological sites in Bolinao, Pangasinan in the Philippines. It is considered one-of-a-kind find due to its gold dental decorations that resemble fish scales. The restored Bolinao skull was the only skull found with a complete set of teeth with gold scale ornamentation on the upper and lower incisors and canines. Apart from dental gold ornamentation, dental staining and filing were also observed on the remains of 4 other graves in the Balingase site. The Bolinao skull dates back to the 14th and 15th century AD and was likely one of the historic inhabitants of Pangasinan, Philippines. This discovery reveals the ornate method of decorating teeth that was part of the native Philippine culture long before the Spanish occupation in 1521. And lastly, in 1964, a researcher Avelino Legazpi led a team of archaeologists who unearthed 51 adult burials and 2 infant jar burials dating back to the 14th to 15th centuries in a site near the mouth of the Balingase River.
Hi everyone! I am Debbie Hebres. One of the example of local cultural property is the White House in Baguio. The Laperal White House is a Victorian style that was built in 1920s, owned by Don Roberto and Doña Victorina. The Japanese soldiers reportedly took over the White House and used it as their temporary garrison during the World War II, where they tortured and killed Filipinos accused of being spies for the Americans. And now that there's a story spreading about the Laperal White House being haunted. And if you are a fan of horror stories, the place is perfect for you. Try to visit the Laperal White House, located in Leonard Wood Road, Baguio 2600, Benguet. Because according to the people who already visited the house, it will literally give you goosebumps. And if you want to know more about this White House and afraid to visit, just like me, try to watch the Laperal White House documentary of Eyewitness on YouTube.
Hi, I am Marimika Elizabeth S. Longi. What is Hudhud Chants of the Ifugao? The Hudhud is a collection of narrative chants by the Ifugao community, which is famous for its rice terraces that stretch throughout the highlands of the Philippines, Northern Island. It's done throughout rice planting season, harvest season, and at funeral wakes and rites. The Hudhud is a collection of over 200 chants separated into 40 episodes that is thought to have started before the 7th century. It's possible that a comprehensive recitation will take several days.
Hi, I am Ria Nicole Firme. What is Hilot? Hilot is usually done by manghihilot or albularyo. Hilot is an age-old indigenous Filipino healing practice associated with elderly healers. The manghihilot could identify body illnesses or areas of energy imbalances in the body through many unconventional methods like pulse reading. Next is Christmas in the Philippines. Considered as one of the biggest holidays, we earn the distinction of celebrating the world's longest Christmas season with the Christmas carols heard as early as September and lasting until Epiphany, the Feast of the Black Nazarene on January 9, or the Feast of the Santo Niño de Cebu on the 3rd Sunday of January.
Mabuhay! Eliza J. Sanggalang at your service. With its breathtaking scenery, active and extinct volcanoes, incredible fauna and gorgeous forests, I can say that it is a must-see destination. I gained knowledge about the Tongariro National Park, which is New Zealand's oldest national park that holds dual UNESCO World Heritage Site classification, recognizing the Maori cultural and spiritual significance. Without realizing it, you've undoubtedly seen the photos of the national park before. The Mount Nuwarui, which is located within the park, is most known for portraying the fictitious Mount Doom in the Lord of the Rings films. Did you know that the national park has 3 volcanoes? Namely, Mount Ruapehu, Mount Nuwarui, and Mount Tongariro. Almost 1 million people visits the national park each year, and I aim to be among them one day.
Hi everyone, my name is Adrian Nicole Arbareta, and in this video I'm going to discuss about other examples of international cultural properties. So other examples of international cultural properties are first, the Mammoth Cave National Park. It is located in the state of Kentucky and it has the world's largest network of natural caves and underground passageways, which are characteristic examples of limestone formation. So the park and its underground network of more than 560 kilometers of passageways are home to a varied flora and fauna, such as the big woods, the Kentucky cave shrimp, and the Indiana brown bat. So the next example is the old town of Lijiang, which is China's best preserved minority Asian town and the only one among China's Asian towns without city walls. It is famous for its ancient architecture and the system of waterways. It provided the public with opportunities to better understand the Dongba culture as well as the Asian music and handicrafts of the Naxi ethnic minority.
Hello everyone, it's Franmi Alexi Villar, and today we are going to discuss 2 cultural properties in foreign countries. So let's start with the first one, the Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. It is a holiday celebrated on November 1 and it is most strongly associated with Mexico where the tradition originated. Assured that the dead would be insulted by mourning or sadness. That is why Dia de los Muertos celebrates the lives of the deceased with foods, drinks, parties, and activities the dead enjoyed in life. The second one is the Jaisalmer Desert Festival in India. 3 days before the full moon of February, people travel in groups in Thar Desert in the Assam sand dunes to celebrate Jaisalmer Desert Festival. Over the course of 3 days, the remote desert landscape comes to life with performances, folk music, and local lore being passed from generation to generation.
That's the end of our video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts about us and the topics that we tackled. Let us know if you're interested. Hit the notification bell if you want to be updated. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next one. Bye!
At pakada kami.
Adios a todos!
Bye sa indo na tanan sa susunod liwat!
Aweva!
Mako na ako!